Hey everyone, it's your old friend Steve here. It's been a while since I made one of these videos. It's been a good 3 weeks or so. Partly because it's hot, partly because I am repeating some of the same routines over and over again. I did an experimentation a week ago in which I mixed two opposing body parts in one workout against my better judgment, but it came from a highly respected influencer, so I followed the advice, but just the more I thought about it, the more it didn't make sense to me. For example, the first day was biceps and triceps. The very next day was chest and traps. Well, didn't I already engage my triceps on Monday? So why on Tuesday would I be doing chest, which also engages the triceps? So it didn't sit well with me. And the same thing happened with back and biceps. Now, admittedly, when I do my own one day muscle group per day, when I do arms, I am doing a push-pull. And when I do legs, I'm doing a push-pull with the quads and the hamstrings. But I do both of them at the end of my workout, so I have a good 3 to 4 days rest in between engaging the accessory muscle again. And then after that, I have 2 days of rest before I start the routine. So I think my way just works better for me. And I'm not saying his way is wrong or any way is wrong. If it's what works for you, it didn't sit right with me. So I decided to go back to basics, back to what I've been doing. So with that in mind, today is shoulder day. I haven't done a shoulder workout since I have purchased the weight set that you see right underneath my forearms right now. It's interesting, there are some inherent differences that you have to be aware of when you're working with a set like this, as opposed to standard free weights and dumbbells in a gym or even resistance bands, because this set, first of all, you can see how narrow it is. So you have to adjust your grip often on the fly. When you have it midair, you kind of just have to shift your arms. That's one thing. But then when you're bringing it back to the supports, it's almost like a skull crusher, a tricep skull crusher that you're doing to get it back into the supports. So you're engaging a group that you may have not had any intention of engaging that day. Also, when you're bringing it back, there is a very serious possibility of pinching the bottoms of your hands, so you have to be aware of that. So there's a lot of little nuances. Even the tower behind me, which you can see a little bit in the background, the pull-down tower, I call it. Sometimes it's beneficial to have it on, and depending on the exercise, for example, decline presses, it's beneficial to have it off. When it's on, I found out the hard way with decline presses that I can't get up. I had to roll on the floor to get off the bench. So I wrote in my little notebook, take off tower before decline presses, and so far so good. Okay, so now I'm going to do shoulder presses. This is a little bit awkward too, because I'd rather have it over my head at this point. But you got to do what you got to do. I don't have dumbbells right now, so perhaps in the future I'll replace it. So I kind of have to pick it up. I do think I'm getting better form by using the barbells with lighter weights. I'm definitely getting more reps. $13, $14, $15, $16, $17, $18, $20. Now again, putting it back is something you have to be aware of. To put it back quietly, I'm not the only one in this house, you know, and safely. Now, I never do 20 reps in my gym with this. I wouldn't do more than 12, and quite often I'd do 8. So, A, I don't have enough money right now to buy more weights. B, I just don't think the system will be as supporting to me. I don't think it'll be conducive to have too much weight here. I just don't think I'll be able to, excuse me, do the unorthodox starts and stops that are required on a set like this. Okay, so gonna take a break. I'm gonna do the rest of my sets. You don't need to see me do these over and over again. So I will take a break, and then when I come back, you'll be seeing me doing front raises. Okay, this is my second set, front raises. I've already done 2 sets of the 4 that I propose to do. Normally, sorry, I'm hot and winded. Normally, I shoot the video on my first set of each exercise because, quite frankly, that's when I'm freshest, that's when my form is best, and also, what rate I finish out on is none of your business, really. Hate to say it that way, but that's how ego gets involved. I'm only concerned with doing my best each time. And the highest amount that I can do may not be the highest amount that you can do. Maybe you can do more, maybe you can do less. Maybe you can do more, but your form isn't good. So I don't compete with anyone. I compete with myself only. So anyway, this is the 3rd set of the front raises. I'm using the barbells. Right now I have 40 pounds on, but with my limited weight selection, if I added any more weight, it would be quite a noticeable increase. So instead, I've decided to combine 2 methods into one, where I have the barbell with 40 pounds on it, plus I've connected a thin resistance band. So it'll be a slight increase in weight. I'm not sure with the camera angle that you'll be able to see the resistance band as well, but just look on the outside of the plates, you'll see a yellow band, hopefully. Also takes me a second to set up for it, because I got to step into it properly as well. So I got the weight in my hands, but now I'm stepping on the resistance bands. Hope you can see them. Right now you can't, but when I go in the up. And I'm leaning back against the column here, just to isolate my shoulders. Oh, you can see the handle. I'll bend my knees a little bit more. 8, we'll try for 15. 9, 10, 11, almost there. 12, come on, Steve. 13, 14, 15. Not quite the height I was getting without the bands, but that's natural because they're called resistance bands, right? They're supposed to provide extra resistance. So one more set of these, and then you'll see me again for lateral raises, which, until I get dumbbells, will be pure resistance bands, if I make it that far. Okay, here we are on the 3rd set. Lateral raises, slowly becoming my favorite exercise for all. I have the resistance bands. I'm starting with the blue, which is equivalent to 25 pounds or 11.4 kilograms. I'm standing straddled over the bench so I can use the bottom supports of the bench to anchor the band down. If I do it standing, I just don't get a good range of motion. If I do it seated, they're too loose. There's too much slack. So this seems to be a good compromise. I'll give it a shot, and if not, I'll delete this scene. The magic of video. Okay. Now, I don't like to start in front of me like some people do. I feel that takes away from the sides and adds a little bit of the front. I've already done front raises, and I've done overhead presses, so let's just focus on the side. Okay. I don't want to lower it too much because I'm losing the tension. Pardon me if I don't look at you. Let's see if I grab lower. Will that increase the tension? It does. Better choice. So that's about 20. I lost count when I switched grips. Wow. I've never sweat like this before in a workout, and I'd love to say it's because of my intensity, but it's just freaking hot here. Sorry. That's the truth. This is a PS to the previous exercise. Just goes to show you can learn something every single time you work out. I was doing the presses before. I'm sorry, the lat raises, excuse me. And I still wasn't happy with the range of motion I was getting. I wasn't getting enough upward motion, and when I was going down, it was getting too much slack too quickly. So I don't know what possessed me, but I'm really glad I did. I experimented with the grip that I normally hold it through the handle. And then as you saw, I jumped down a little bit, but I still wasn't satisfied because I still had more of a neutral grip than the pronated grip that I wanted. So what I did was I set my usual grip, twisted it around, and it was much better. So again, you got to experiment. You got to see what works best for you. No expert can tell you what works best for you. It's up to you to discover it. And I've been at this almost 25 years, and I'm still discovering things every single day. And this is a new exercise in my arsenal. I've only been doing it a couple months, but it's really one of the biggest crazes in the gyms right now. Looks like my wife is joining us in the background. You can't see her, but she's here. So I'm going to do face pulls. I've got the band wrapped high on the lat tower, as I call it. And this is for the rear lats. I'm going to try the same trick that I tried. Yes, your answer. That's a perfect move, Steve. Okay. That was a good set. Now let's step up the weight and do 3 more. Okay, my friends, I am on exercise number 5. I'm moving from shoulders to traps. And I know some people like to do the traps with the back workout, but I've always preferred to do it with the shoulder workout myself. I feel like it's a more natural tie-in between the 2 muscle groups. So even though it does go against my push-pull philosophy, I do think that it works for me. And you know, I'm not going to brag or anything, but I think I have pronounced traps a little. I'm not Brock Lesnar or anyone like that, but I think I'll get a little closer. You can see I got a little trap action going, so I guess it's working for me. So we're going to start out with barbell shrugs. Right now, again, not too much weight. I have 15, 30, 45, 60, 70 on the bar. I mean, I normally do, wow. Sometimes I could do over 100 kilos. And that's another thing with this barbell set. It's in pounds. So, you know, for as many years as I did pounds in the gyms, I kind of got used to the 4 years of kilograms. So now I'm going back and forth in my head. And it is a little bit confusing at this point. But as time goes by, I'll get it. Anyway, stop stalling. Let's do some shrugs. Okay. I like to hold at the top, even if it limits the number of reps I do. You can see it's a very small movement. That's 10 or 11, I'll say 10. Two more. 19, 20. Okay, so I only have two 10-pound plates left as of today. So that's gonna move it up to 90. And then the third and fourth sets, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the front raises and add the resistance bands to it. When in Rome, right? Okay. Okay. Finally, I'm on the last set of this workout. I have never sweat this much in my life, and there is one fly who has been up my ass this whole time. So the last exercise is going to be upright rows. I've actually done my first set, but I didn't film it because, quite frankly, I'm kind of embarrassed. I just do the bar itself for warm-up. So now I've added two 10s on it plus the bar. So that's 30. It's a little more presentable. I mean, it's not great at all, but here goes nothing. Okay, I try and keep my hands fairly close together. I don't have them thumbs touching because that hurts my shoulder, but I'm pretty narrow regardless. You can see the width of these weights is getting in my way too. The weights are actually hitting my elbow, so I am going to move my hands in a little bit closer. That's eliminated most of the problem. $12, you think we can make 20? 13, 14, 15, I said 20, I'll do 20. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I'll just hold that up there for good measure. And down. Now, I'm not going to get much heavier on this because it's a hard exercise for me, but I'm going to add 2 levels of resistance bands, 1 per set, and that should be enough. I hope you enjoyed my shoulder workout because I know I sure didn't. Catch you next time, all right? Class dismissed.